I bought this triple needle ages ago. Never got around to using it. And today I thought it would be a little fun to see how well it works or not. So what you can see here is a very good line of straight stitching, and then I switched it over to the maximum zigzag that I can get on my 411G, which is just over 3.5, and that way it doesn't hit the sides. Obviously with a machine with a wider zigzag you could get more out of it. It does look, however, quite impressive. I just wound 2 bobbins, and I'm using a spool there and then another bobbin there, and that's how I'm doing it. But what's interesting is on the back. So when you're doing the straight, it gives, you'll recognize this quite often from when you do a double needle, it pulls the bobbin thread across. But what's quite fascinating is once you get to the zigzag, you get almost a faggoting stitch. So I think this is could be used in reverse to join fabric together with great effect, with great success, as well as for decorative stitching. So quite fascinating. On this side you get that, on that side you get that. And the question I had is whether or not this would work as well as a cover stitch machine. It might actually work very well. Downside is you get only a limited amount of bobbin, whereas with a cover stitch machine you can use large spools of thread and go forever. But I think it works quite well. So here's how it sounds. So I'm hearing lots of bobbin noise, which depending on which machine you use will sound different, but that is the sound of a 400 series, 500 series as well, and 600G series with the 66 class bobbins. Get that healthy click sound, and there are three threads per bobbin per stitch, so it's got a lot to pull under there, but it's not missing any stitch whatsoever, which is actually easier to sew on than my cover stitch machine, although I have managed to get adjustments. So I was quite intrigued to see how well this might stitch on stretch fabric, so I think we will try that out just for fun. But on here it's stitching stunningly. Really impressive. I like that. That is really, really nice. So I'm going to try that. It's just a very basic zigzag, but I wondered if there are other types of stitches we could explore with this. So let's try that. Let's have a bit of fun. Set this back to straight stitch, which of course you can just set the stitch width to 0 on a zigzag and you'll get straight stitch on any machine. So now I will pivot. So obviously with 3 needles you can't spin the fabric when it's in effect, when the needles are down, because it's too wide. I'm trying to think what might work nicely, because it can't be too wide of a zigzag. A blind stitch could be interesting. The primary patterns, or I can use the cams. Let's try BR5. Why not? We know it can't be as wide as that, so we'll set that to 3. We've got B already set, so let's go for R. And try BR 3.5. Let's just turn this by hand to make sure it doesn't hit the edge. So it looks good, looks like we're okay. Actually, that's kind of funky as well. put really nice threads in there, multicolored threads, and it gives a really nice effect. I think we'll try the multi-point zigzag, which is BQ5. And try that. Slightly different, the pointy look of the same. On the back, let's see what it looks like. Ooh, that's fun. There's a really fun effect there. Let's try, not sure BN will do much. Let's try BP5. But obviously not 5. But oh, I see. Okay. So you could shorten that. That's kind of fun. That looks kind of neat. There's a very fun look to that, doesn't it? That's super neat. Okay. Why not try BN5 just for fun? I doubt this will look like it's a triangle, so I'm not entirely sure this will work too well, but we'll try it out. Oops. Make sure this isn't getting too tight. Oops. Having little tension challenges here, but that's quite often the case. Here we go. Not sure that really does anything very useful for us. Yeah, I don't think that one's a success. However, those other ones are really quite a success. On the back, there is a scallop there. Then we have the multi-point zigzag, which gives a much more triangular look. Then we have the, not quite domino, I forget what's a left and right domino look. So that looks kind of funky as well. That's really kind of neat looking. Okay, I like that. And then we got the normal zigzag, which I demonstrated before. The ball stitch I can't imagine would do much, because that'll just do something similar to the triangle. We might as well try the blind hem. Let's try the blind hem and see what happens here, because we'll get straight. And then that one's kind of fun. Let's see the, fortunately I managed to get it sewed over top of something else, so let me just move over so you can see it more clearly. I found out the tension issue. I was sewing on top of that cord, so we'll try and avoid that one. That's fun. I like that. Wrap this around. I managed to get all these threads tangled in there. Very difficult to sew without your left hand. That's how we're all taught to sew. So let me just free this up from these white threads. And then we can go back to stitching again. Sure. So, lots of fun. I think this is kind of nifty. Some challenges with the thread, but that's always normal when you try these fancy things, is to find the perfect balance with threads and everything. That's okay. I'm liking this a lot. I think that is really nice looking. It's your own self-made rickrack of a sort. Then you've got the scallops, that stitch, and the blind hem looks kind of funky doodles as well. So yeah, I'm liking this. This is a great. There's your blind hem. So that looks neat as well. This is how it looks on stretch fabric. And on the reverse side, looks like that. So I think this is a viable option for stitching on stretch fabrics.